What's going on, fellas? It's your man, Point Guard, coming back to you. We're going to talk about 3 essentials that every Black man needs before relocating internationally. These are tools that I researched before I moved to Mexico, and I use them every single day. So let's get into it. Look, we talked last week about stop chasing who you were, start building who you're becoming. And these 3 essentials are really they're non-negotiables, guys. I know there are probably other alternatives to these products, but these are 3 essentials that I use and that I think are extremely important, and I want to share them with you today. All right, now first one is called Wise. All right, now what is Wise? It's a multi-currency account and transfer tool that lets you hold, send, and receive money in multiple currencies at the real exchange rate, not that crazy usury bank rates that they charge us in the United States. Wise has been really good, guys, because I pay all my bills with it: my water bill, my rent, electricity. I use to pay Wise, and Wise, you know, you can get a lot of different currencies. Like obviously I'm dealing in pesos here, the Mexican peso, and the exchange rate, you're going to get one of the best exchange rates that you can get. And it really allows you to be solid in terms of knowing exactly what you're paying. You can look at, they give you exactly how much money's going to go out in dollars and pesos before you send the money. Very easy to sign up. Go to the website. You put your information in, you'll get a debit card. You get a Wise debit card. Now you can use that to spend however you like. I don't necessarily use the debit card because I don't need it. But if I were in a pinch and I needed to access pesos and I didn't have one of these other essential tools, then I could use Wise to go ahead and get money out without paying exorbitant fees or a foreign transaction fee. So Wise is really good, guys. And it like in terms of what people who relocate internationally, like Americans, I believe Wise is the #1 choice for this type of tool for a multi-currency account. Okay, I believe there's Revolut. There's some other ones out there, but Wise has been the user-friendly, very easy to set up, very self-explanatory. The transfers happen almost immediately. Like the first time when I was setting up my mortgage payment here in Mexico, it took about 12 hours to do, I think, because it was a new account. It was I hadn't set the dollar amounts correctly, and so it took me a little while on that first exchange. But after I did that and I figured out where I needed to set it and what I needed to do, it was easy, guys. And I'm telling you, for guys like us that are over 50, some of us are technologically challenged. Believe me, don't be intimidated. It's very easy. You can connect a U.S. bank account to your Wise account, and you can pull money from your U.S. bank account and you can hold it in your Wise account to transfer over into any currency that you want to deal with: Mexican peso, Chinese yuan, I don't know the other, Dominican dollar, these different currencies. You can connect it to your U.S. bank account. You can pull money out of your U.S. bank account. You can hold in pesos if you want to play the money arbitrage game, because the dollar is losing value to the Mexican peso. And if you had dollars that you let's take for example, you have your bank account. You pull $1,000 out of your bank account, you put it into your Wise account, you put it and you transfer it into pesos. If you left it in your Wise account this year, over a 12-month period, you'd have made money because the Mexican peso has gained value against the US dollar. So you can do a lot of different things. It's a very flexible tool. And, you know, all of my clients, I make them sign up for this Wise account before they even think about relocating internationally, because it's just good to have. And guys, you know what? You could use Wise in the United States. It's not like you can't. You can use it for whatever you need. It's a very reliable, very user-friendly, very easy bank account to use for all your transactions. Okay. All right. Number 2 on the list. This is big, guys, because for me, I like to go and get pesos and pay my groceries and different local vendors in pesos, and not necessarily use a credit card because I'm getting fees on my Visa card. Now, if I were to use my Charles Bank debit card to do those transactions, I wouldn't get those foreign transaction fees. But I get nervous about using a debit card on regular payments because if somebody screws you or somebody hacks into your account, they can wipe out your whole account. When you use a credit card, you can go back and cancel that within 30 to 45 days, depending on the credit card that you have. So when I go to the grocery store, I like to go take my Charles Schwab debit card. I go to the Santander Bank. That's one of the major banks here in Mexico. It's right next to the grocery store. I go in and I get my pesos. There's no foreign transaction fees, and Charles Schwab will reimburse your ATM charges. So you're getting your money for free once again, okay? So I get the pesos, and what I like to do, why I do this, is at the grocery stores, they'll bring in senior citizens to be baggers, right? And I like to tip them 20 pesos, 25 pesos. You know, that's like a equivalent of a little bit more than $1. It's like $1.50, almost $2 if you're talking about $1.50. And so I like to do that because I like to tip the baggers at the grocery store. And, you know, a lot of the local vendors, if you have a 500 peso bill, believe it or not, some of the local vendors can't break that down. They can't give you change for that. I know that sounds strange coming from the United States, but that's how little some of these local vendors, that's how little money they have on them at the time. Okay. So it's a good idea to use this, and with no foreign transaction fees and all your ATM subcharges and charges getting reimbursed to your account, it's a no-brainer, guys. You know, and the thing of it is, like, some people like to swipe most of their transactions. I like to do pesos here in Mexico because it gives me a better accounting for my money. I know that sounds counterintuitive because if you've got if you do everything on a swipe, you've got an electronic record. But what happens is when I go to my Charles Schwab account, I get the pesos out. I know exactly how much money I took out. And then I can spread that money out depending on if I'm going to the grocery store, if I'm going out to eat, if I'm going to have some beers or whatever, or if I'm going to buy I need a shirt or something like that. I like to use pesos. Okay. Just a preference. But with a Charles Schwab checking account, it makes it super easy to get your pesos out without incurring any additional charges. Because, guys, we need to make our money stretch as we're relocating internationally, because we do our most of the places that we are going to relocate internationally, including Mexico, there's still money arbitrage, meaning that the US dollar still is strong here. It's losing value, but it's still strong. I think it's 17 to 1. So it's still 17 pesos to $1. When I first got here, it was closer to 19. So you can see how the peso was gaining on the US dollar. Okay. All right. That's number 2. Tip number 3. And this is for you guys that want to keep up with your sports or your shows from back home. Like, I still use YouTube TV, and you can't access YouTube TV outside the United States unless you have a VPN. I use ExpressVPN. I was using NordVPN until I learned that they're based in Israel. And so I was like, bump that. I'm not doing that. It's a virtual private network that masks your location and encrypts your internet connection. Now, guys, why is this so important? Because, again, I like YouTube TV. That's what I use for my cable provider. I can't access that outside the United States unless I have a VPN. So I didn't miss any of the NCAA tournament. I'm not going to miss any of the upcoming NBA playoffs. I'm not a big show guy. I'm more of a YouTube documentary dude. But I can access my Netflix, anything that I want to watch from back home. I can watch here based on having this ExpressVPN. It's very clean cut. If you guys haven't bought VPNs, they're very inexpensive as of right now. I'm sure the price will creep up like they do everything else with these greedy ass corporations. But right now, I believe my package is $5.99 per month, and it does very, very well, guys. So look into ExpressVPN for your VPN. Yes, you can use Nord. I just don't want nothing that's based in Israel. That's just me. But to each his own, right? So a quick recap. Wise is your daily banking tool. Very easy. Go to wise.com and sign up there. Your daily tool. You can pay your foreign mortgage, your utilities. I use Charles Schwab to do my pesos. I pull out my pesos, but what I think I'm going to start doing is take some money out of my U.S. account that's connected to my Wise account, put it in pesos, and sit it on the sidelines, because it's gaining value right now against the U.S. dollar. So you can do a lot of different things, but Wise is the first tool that we talked about. Number 2, your Charles Schwab account. This is your ATM and U.S. banking anchor, because guys, certain companies, if you're still like have a U.S. address and you're still operating as a U.S. citizen, but you've relocated internationally and you haven't gotten your residency in that particular country squared away like I haven't, it's important to keep a U.S. bank, okay? Regardless of what country you're going into, because if you're going to still access goods and services from the United States, you need this. So you need a Charles Schwab checking account. And I do some of my investments as well with Charles Schwab. So it was very easy to set up a checking account off of my investment accounts with Charles Schwab. Very straightforward, very easy, but a no-brainer to have if you're going to relocate internationally. And lastly, ExpressVPN, your virtual private network. It's your digital protection, guys. You want to protect yourself when you're in foreign countries. Maybe they don't have hackers that are as aggressive in the United States, but they do exist. And people hack worldwide. There are no global constricts to people hacking your information. Okay. So ExpressVPN, I've been using it all year here in Mexico, and it's been wonderful. Okay. All right, guys. Listen, if you want to be a part of Next Chapter Forward, which is our group of Black men over 50 who are relocating overseas, if you haven't done so, get your Global Scouting Report. Here's the link. You can copy and paste this URL, or you can go to my bio. You'll find the link there. It's only 8 questions. It takes 2 minutes. You get a score of your readiness to relocate. You'll either be a dreamer, a planner, a packer, or you'll be ready to relocate. Okay. It's a great tool. Go check it out. You'll be added to the Next Chapter Forward email list automatically. Or if you want to talk to yours truly, you can get a free 15-minute call with me. Now you can go to the comments after, if you're watching the replay of this, type in the comments free throw 15, or go to this particular link, or you can go into my bio. The link is in there as well. It'll be just me and you, 15 minutes. I'll diagnose where you are in the relocation process and give you next steps so that you'll feel confident moving forward about your decision to relocate internationally. Okay, guys, I want you guys to think like a point guard. I want you guys to be a championship leader and be a sovereign Black man. That's what Next Chapter Forward is all about. I hope you guys take the opportunity to come and join us at Next Chapter Forward. We're continuing to grow. We're starting to build our networks around the world. I've got a brother now in Argentina. I'm gonna have a couple very soon in Thailand. I've got 2 brothers now in the Dominican Republic. So we're building this thing of Next Chapter Forward, this community of Black men relocating out of the United States, looking for their best lives and their next chapter abroad. If this interests you, go and get your Global Scouting Report, or type free throw 15 in the comments. All right, guys. Thank you for listening. I really appreciate you guys. I'm loving this, that we're growing, and I want you to be a part of this. So take care. Make sure you join Next Chapter Forward. And until next time, holla, y'all.